The snow started on Wednesday, the 21st, but it was a very, very light sprinkle with a little bit of ice and snow. And then on the 22nd, we had to leave our house. February 22nd, that was a Wednesday, and we had to make sure that we were closer to town. By Friday, it just started snowing heavy, and the snow did not stop. Every single day we were getting at least a foot of snow, on some days up to 20 inches or more. So you would clear your car or clear the top of the shed, and the next day you would find another 2 feet piled on top of the shed. As you can see right here in this video, you see the difference. There's already 2 feet on top, and there is a lot of pressure on the shed. At one point, I was worried about it caving in, and we went outside and cleared it. But by the next morning, it was like repeated. Same amount of snow on top, about 2 feet. So, when it did not stop snowing, we just had days and days and days of just repetitive snow. It wouldn't stop, and we never had a break to actually go out and clear any snow. And that's when there was a lot of damage. We were very lucky that where we were staying was not that damaged. We had part of the living room ceiling snap, and we were sitting inside the room that day. Beautiful room with a lot of windows and a beautiful baby grand piano, and we heard a snap, and I told my mom we should leave the room. We did. Part of the ceiling snapped, and there was also like a column to the wall which snapped way at the bottom. Now, the roof never caved in, but I went up and looked out of the window, and there was at least 5 feet of snow piled on top of that roof, so we had to start just scraping away at it gently, and then eventually some of us had to climb up on the roof to actually clear it. But by then we had received so much snow that the roof did not feel that high. Like, you were up on the roof, but technically you could just jump down or walk down onto the snow, because the snow on the front door was pretty much blocking the ourselves to survive and for our family and pets, but it was gone. It collapsed. But let me tell you something. I have never lived in a town where I actually enter the town and it feels like home. When I enter the town, I feel like I am home. I have lived in places for years, and my street businesses strengthened our community and got us all closer together. I met so many wonderful people, kind people went out of their way to just ask if you were okay. Private organizations and businesses living up here in the mountain communities came out if they had a snow plow and they cleared out some of the roads. At this point, we were still buried and unable to even dig out the cars. When about fourth house. Every fourth house has some sort of damage, whether it's the deck or sometimes just the whole thing fallen. Some of the communities here have older homes, so they're built completely unable to weather a storm of this magnitude. We also met several people who said that they have lived here all their lives and they had never ever seen anything like this. One older gentleman claimed that in his 80 years living here, this is the worst storm that he's ever witnessed. Given everything that happened, we were very grateful to see that the rest of the state and the rest of the nation actually was hearing and seeing what was happening to us up here. We saw that we were in the news, and people knew that we needed help, and they gave us that help. One time when we were walking to town to get rations, the news was up here, I believe. I can't remember which station, but we were interviewed up here. I wasn't personally interviewed, but part of my family was interviewed. And you can see here that the National Guard is heading to San Bernardino, and I do have footage of